Hi, I'm Amy Poehler. For the last year, the No Ceilings Initiative and its partners have been compiling data about the state of gender equality around the world.
The report looks at the progress women and girls have made in the last 2 decades. The conclusion? Despite some significant gains, we're not there yet on gender equality, at home or abroad.
It's why many iconic women recently haven't been on billboards, posters, magazines, and even online.
And it's why we're not here today.
Wait, what do you mean we're not here?
Like, we're not in the scenes because it's just our voices. Didn't they explain the concept to you?
Well, yeah, but I wasn't listening. Sorry.
Did you know that the U.S. is one of only 9 countries that doesn't provide for paid maternity leave? Or how about the fact that 1 in 4 girls worldwide is married before her 18th birthday?
On a brighter note, in the U.S., women now earn the majority of college degrees. But we only make up 5% of Fortune 500 CEOs. That is a lot of wasted pantsuits.
Not to mention the fact that women everywhere still don't earn the same as men. For example, in the US, women make just 78 cents to every man's dollar.
That's unbelievable. Please.
Rude.
How dare you?
Are we? Wait, I'm not there. I'm confused.
What you heard today are just 4 of almost 1 million data points on the state of gender equality.
So make time to explore the data. Spread the word.
And take action.
Because the sooner we learn about the issues,
the sooner we can get there.
Oh, look at that. We all synced up.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to all of those joining us via live stream from across the globe. I'm America Ferreira, and I couldn't be more excited to kick off this incredible program with you all today. What you just heard is true. We're not there yet when it comes to gender equality, not here in the United States and not anywhere around the world. And it's up to us to get there. Over the past 24 hours, there has been an exciting and incredible effort building to do just that. From billboards and magazine covers, Twitter and Facebook feeds, so many people and partners across the country have come together to spread the word, engage their communities, and make this statement. We're just not there yet. But progress is possible, and that's exactly why we are here today. Because in order to get there, we don't just need data, we need voices and stories from the women and girls and the advocates for women and girls to help tell us the way. Growing up, I never heard these stories, not in school, not on TV, not in movies. I didn't see how girls all around the world were living, how they were struggling, how they were achieving, and how their lives could possibly relate to my own. I didn't know I could be a part of the bigger conversation because I didn't know such a conversation existed. Last April, I had the incredible opportunity to join No Ceilings at one of the first No Ceilings conversations here in New York City at the Lower East Side Girls Club. There, I think some of them are here with us today. There, I joined these amazing girls, a group of middle schoolers who shared their experiences growing up as young women today. Though they spoke of facing real challenges, together their voices echoed a deep belief that the future is full of possibilities. And that's what these conversations came to be. A series of incredible moments that unite communities from New York City to Lucknow, India, from Denver to Dublin on Twitter, Skype, and everywhere in between. Each conversation let us hear directly from the women and girls and the men and boys about where we've seen progress and where ceilings still exist. It gave us valuable insight about how we can break those hardest ceilings and unlock our boundless potential. Now here we are, almost 1 year later, and about to raise the curtain on what I know will be the ultimate no ceilings conversation. So let's get started. Please help me welcome to the stage the incredible women who have brought us all here today: Melinda Gates, Chelsea Clinton, and Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Yay! Thank you so much. Hello. Thank you.
Thank you, America, and thank you to everyone who is joining us this morning, whether here in this room in New York City or tuning in live from around the world. And thank you to the Best Buy Theater, Empire Entertainment, Good Spot, Microsoft, and Reveal 42 for making this event possible. I also want to give a special welcome to their excellencies, the President of Croatia and the President of Liberia, for joining us today. You'll hear their inspiring remarks later in the program. Like America, I have been completely awed by the incredible swell of people and partners who joined together yesterday to make a bold and important statement, whether by removing themselves from pictures or making their presence known at the UN Women's International Women's Day March here in New York City. That while we've made great progress over the last 20 years, we're just not there yet when it comes to gender equality, and that's just not good enough. The data and findings of the Full Participation Report help tell the story of gender equality today. There has been tremendous progress and woefully little in other areas. Certain barriers have fallen, and other barriers remain entrenched. And yet new tools and opportunities create possibilities for progress and true equality that were literally unimaginable only a few years ago. To help bring some of the Full Participation Report data to life, today we'll hear the inspiring voices of leaders, of communities, of companies, of countries, who are accelerating progress, closing gaps, and making sure that women and girls have every right and every opportunity to achieve full participation today and every day into the future. And because of all of this, our work, the report, the very reason that I believe all of us are here today, is ultimately about the future that America mentioned before, one of hope and possibility for all of us, women and men, boys and girls. We're not there yet, but together we can be.
Thank you, Chelsea. It's so great to be here today with the Secretary and with all of you in the room here who work so tirelessly to help improve the lives of women and girls around the globe. I'm a computer scientist at heart, and I think many of you have probably heard Bill and me describe ourselves actually as data geeks. And that's because we believe that data is knowledge, and knowledge is power. Today, we're launching the Full Participation Report because the data that it contains gives us more power to help women and girls build a better future for everyone. The most rewarding part of the job that I have today is traveling and meeting women and girls from all over the world who are striving for the same goal, a good life for themselves and for their family. Their courage and ingenuity when you talk to them against the long odds is that that's all the evidence I need to know that equality for women and girls must be my top priority. I turned 50 this last year, and milestones, I think, are a good time for reflection. I agree. I love being 50. You'll get there, Chelsea.
May I be so fortunate?
And I spent a lot of time, really, over the summer during that birthday, reflecting and thinking about what I want to accomplish the rest of my life. And like you, I want to make sure I'm doing all the things that will help women and girls the very most. And so this report that we're launching today, it can help each of us answer for ourselves where we want to invest. By studying the areas where women and girls have made the most progress in the last 20 years, we can learn to replicate these successes in other areas. And because the report identifies the biggest gaps, where they are, we have essentially what amounts to a blueprint now for action. So today, you're going to hear from leaders who I believe will convince you that now is the time to act. You'll be motivated by brilliant strategists who've devised ways to act most effectively. And I think you'll be inspired by heroes who act every day to help the women and girls who hold our shared future in their hands.
Well, Chelsea and Melinda have really set the tone for today, for the report, and what we hope will be the actions that each of you will take going forward. Because this is about building a better, brighter future for everyone. You know, when women and girls have the opportunity to participate, we can lift up not just ourselves, but our families, communities, even our countries. So this isn't just a story about women and girls. It is a universal story about the kind of world we want for our children and grandchildren. The good news, based on 20 years of data from more than 190 countries collected by the Clinton Foundation and the Gates Foundation through the No Ceilings Project, is that there has never been a better time in history to be born female. You know, the gains that Chelsea and Melinda spoke about show that progress is possible. But that's just part of the story. The data also shows how far we still have to go. In 1995, at the UN's Fourth World Conference on Women in Beijing, the international community pledged to work toward the full participation of women and girls in all aspects of life. Today, 2 decades later, it's clear we're not there yet. We still have a lot of work to do, and we're excited for you to dig into this data yourself, to use it, to share it, to learn from it, to get motivated by it. At noceilings.org, you can learn something fast or take a deep dive into the areas that interest you most, including the compelling stories of women and girls from around the world who make all of the statistics come alive. I want to thank Melinda for being such a terrific partner in this work and for being such a great leader on this and so many other crucial challenges. I also want to thank all the partners who helped collect, gather, and amplify this data, especially Droga 5, the Economist Intelligence Unit, Fathom Information Design, Scratch, and the World Policy Analysis Center. This was a real team effort. They have all contributed to a product that I hope will open eyes, spark debate, and spur all of us to action.
Another area where we have seen strikingly little progress and improvement in the past 20 years for women and girls is in peace and security. Freedom from violence is as fundamental a human right as any, as essential to individual well-being as it is to our collective progress. And yet, in no country in the world have we guaranteed that right for women and girls. Transcending geographic borders, economic and social class, religion, race, ethnicity, gender-based violence is truly a global epidemic that affects women and girls in every country, in every society across the world, including here in our own, in the United States. Worldwide, nearly 1 in 3 women have suffered some form of physical or sexual violence or abuse, often at the hands of their husband or intimate partner. In conflict and post-conflict zones, women are particularly vulnerable. And yet, despite these uncontested facts, women are typically missing from the very conversations and the very work around peace and security that could and should help keep women and girls safe. In fact, only 16% of the 585 peace deals across the world between 1990 and 2010 referenced women. Even fewer included women. For Ikram Ben Said, making sure that women's voices are an equal part of such conversations is a matter of both personal and national security, of personal healing and national rebuilding and growth. Please join me in welcoming Ikram Ben Said.
Thank you. 4 years ago, on a rainy Tuesday in December, I stood before a room full of students, and instead of beginning a planned lecture on marketing, I told them, I should not be here. Today, I have to be on the street. I walked out. I was shaking with fear, but I felt an inner courage that I had not known before. I also felt in love, like I was going on a date. Actually, it was a date with my country, Tunisia, the country that I had lost to dictatorship for more than 23 years. I joined the crowd in front of the National Labor Union, which was surrounded by the police. The rain was falling around us as we sang the national anthem. If the people want to live, destiny must obey. Never before had its word felt more true, more possible. A few weeks later, I was again on the streets of Tunis with my fellow citizens. My mother, who was watching on TV, called me. Come home, Ikram. The police will kill you. But my sister grabbed the phone from her and said, please stay. Stay there for me, for you, for our generation. I faced the choice between my personal security and hope, and I chose hope. That day, January 14, 2011, dictatorship came to an end in Tunisia, and our dreams came back. But the next day, it was time to get to work, time to make real the promise of January 14, and time to ensure that the women who bravely risked their lives alongside their fathers, brothers, husbands, and sons on the streets of Tunisia would move forward and not backward in the newly democratic Tunisia. I launched Aswat Nissa, Voices of Women, the first and only women's organization in Tunisia that brings together women and men from all walks of life and political beliefs, from left to right, secular to Islamist, to advance and protect the rights of all women. The challenges facing us are many. Almost 50% of Tunisian women have experienced violence. How can we protect them? Too many women could not vote in the last elections because they lacked ID cards. How can we represent them? Women in fields and factories are working for almost nothing under horrifying conditions. How can we help them? In short, how do we convince politicians that women's rights are human rights and that expanding opportunities for women is the right thing and the smart thing for Tunisia? Aswat Nissa is fighting to help all people understand that Tunisia's successful democratic transition depends on the full participation of women. We must guarantee that women have a seat at every decision-making table, whether the discussion is about education, health, the economy, or national security. Not just because this is good for women, but because democracy requires the wisdom of a diversity of voices and experiences. We know that defending single mothers, supporting women politicians, combating gender-based violence, reforming our educational system to raise the innovative, entrepreneurial, inclusive children who believe in gender equality, these are not side issues, but essential prescriptions for a stronger, smarter, and fairer Tunisia. Throughout its history, Tunisia has been a leader in our region, banning slavery in 1846, outlawing polygamy, guaranteeing women the right to vote in 1946, guaranteeing the right of abortion and withdrawing all the reservation on the CEDAW. Despite the challenges we still face, I am confident that we can build on these progressive achievements and confident that my decision and the decision of thousands of my fellow Tunisians to live our ordinary lives to the streets 4 years ago was not made in vain. I thank you for your support and very much hope that you will continue to join us in our efforts to make history. Thank you.
Thank you, Ikram.